Hi, my name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional traveler. Today I'm talking about fit in your 40s. How to judge if you're ready to come back after a minor injury like I've tested today. I'm going to talk to you about that a bit. Fit in your 40s. That's a little bit of a magical thing. Is it possible to do? Absolutely. But sometimes you get injured like I did a week ago. So I'm going to talk about the recovery time, how I managed it and seemed to have come back. We'll see. But before I do that, if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button, that would help me out a lot to bring this information to you. And also, please leave me a comment about what I can bring to you, some thoughts, whatever you think of my videos. Thank you very much. So, a week ago, it's, let's see, when is it? Early October, and I injured myself a full week ago. I was out running on a 6-mile run, and I'm going along, and all of a sudden, my calf, I felt this burn right through here, and it felt like I'd put a stake in my leg or something. It was really quite unpleasant. So I ended up having to get a ride. That was not enjoyable at all. I mean, I literally couldn't walk. I was walking like this, like, I mean, if I had a complete splint on my leg, that's about how I was walking, and I would have to walk 3+ miles home. That would have been a bummer. So the temptation is when you're in your 40s and you say, hey, I'm strong, I'm fit, I'm active and athletic. The temptation is the next day is like, oh yeah, we'll just work this out and run this out. Okay. You don't want to do that because you're not in your 20s anymore. You're not in your teens. You don't bounce back from injury very well. And that's just the nature of the business. And accepting your body for what it is and the capabilities it has is everything. So the plan for recovering from a minor injury like that, I don't know if I pulled the muscle. I didn't tear it, but because I'd still be hobbling along, but definitely strained the heck out of one of the parts of my calf muscle. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to take total time off, just walk around the house, and I could really feel it in there. It's like, ooh, this isn't good. And then ended up having to go some unanticipated travel, so I had to drive a long way. So yeah, I'm sitting for another 18+ hours, and I just let the week roll on, completely not doing any sort of leg workout. Just, I mean, I had to go to the grocery store and whatnot to walk around, but I decided I'm going to completely lay off on this. 3 or 4 days later, I lean against the wall and just gently stretch, and I can still feel something there. So I didn't really do a cranking stretch at all. That's something when you strain a muscle in there, I wouldn't just push it like, oh yeah, or stretch it or whatever you want to say, and really crank on that thing, because there's a chance whatever then strain in there, you could pull it and maybe create some micro tears in the muscle, which take longer to heal, and then it's going to take even longer for you to come back from that. You can check out my cool sexy hair, trash truck driving by, I'm out in the neighborhood. I just finished my run. So that's what I'm getting to here is I gave myself, was it 6 days of complete do nothing, just sit, chill, do basic stuff, and walking around. After the 4th day, I thought, oh, you know, I feel okay, but I'm going to let it sit. The 5th day comes along, I thought, okay, let's walk around the block. So I gently walk around just a super short block, 10 minutes, and I could actually still feel something in my calf. Now, it was kind of frustrating. Now, when I flex my calf here, I still feel a little tension. When I flex this one, I don't feel anything, but in there, this, I don't know what this part of the muscle is. I didn't take anatomy in college, but oh well, it's the outer part of my calf muscle that bulges out slightly. How about that? So the 6th day, what I did is I said, okay, I'm going to just take a gentle stroll for 20 minutes. So I just took a stroll around the neighborhood block, and I'm at the high school right now. This isn't, or middle school. This isn't a jail, thank goodness. But walked way around the block and just eased into it, like, oh, you know, I'm going to be careful. And about halfway into the walk, I didn't feel pain, but I felt a little bit of tightness. I'm like, oh man, dang, this is still hanging on. So that was my test to see if, all right, I still feel something, you need to chill out another day. So this injury recovery thing, I mean, it was at that point 6 days after straining, it's hot here, straining my muscle, and it still wasn't giving up. Like, geez, this is really frustrating. Now, I don't have a physical therapist or anything. I'm not a super sports athlete where I've got the ice baths and all that, and that's what the professional athletes use. You got to be a regular guy like me, and that allows you to recover. So getting over that, it's like, oh, geez, it's frustrating. But again, you got to remember, you're not 20 years old. You're not super athlete. I mean, if you're like a crazy athlete and you can run 5-minute miles or something, well, good on you. For the rest of us who don't do that, it's a totally different matter. So day 7, here I am, a full 7, or is it 7, maybe 8 days later? It's been almost 8 days later. Yeah, okay, we'll call it 8 days later, however you want to measure the calendar. And so again, what I did is I walked around the block, just a super short walk. I thought, hey, this actually feels okay. Then I went with a walk with my dad, and we walked around a much bigger block, connected 2 or 3, just walking at regular strolling speed. He's not walking as fast, so it actually made it pretty easy on me. But that also warmed up my muscles, and especially my strained calf. And so I've got this warm up in, I'm like, all right, I'm in super strolling. I'm in just literally walking along like this, just total chill, no problem, easy. Okay, now I've got this warm up in, and I thought, okay, well, why don't we go for it and let's do a little bit of light jogging. So I got on the old runners here. I've got what are these? My Asics Kayanos. I'll put a link to they're like running on marshmallow clouds. They're incredible. So these things, pretty sweet. So after I've got my warm up, we did a good 25-minute walk, just nice and easy. I said, all right, I'm going to commit. I'm going to run just a short inner loop block here, or 3, to see how I feel. Put on my shirt, and I got the running shoes on, take off, and just literally as light as I can go. Moving easy, not breaking any records, probably doing a 12-minute mile. Now, that might seem terrible, but from when it was crippling to where I could barely walk like this, a 12-minute mile looks like I'm ready for, to take on the Olympic gold in Tokyo this coming summer. So I was like, all right, I feel okay. Let's stretch it out. So I start speeding up to I would say just under my normal speed. And all of a sudden I'm like, all right, I'm feeling fine. But no, the moment you feel any strain or anything, put the kibosh on that, baby. So I hit the pause button for a moment, like, all right, I actually rubbed on my calf a little bit, just to feel if I felt anything inside to where like, ooh, there's a sore spot that's building up. So that's something I do. If I get an injury, what I'll do is I'll get my muscle there, hopefully you can see it, and I'll just start kneading around, and I feel a little bit of stiffness, but nothing too bad. I mean, I've got 20 psi grip strength, so I can really mash the heck out of my muscles and make them hurt. But I do that a bunch. I'm like, okay. And then what I do is I compare it to the other side just to feel how my sensitivity is that day. And I squeeze that. I'm like, oh yeah, it doesn't hurt as much on this side. But when I squeeze here in this muscle area, I still feel a little bit of something. So I was like, I better slow it down. So I slowed my jogging speed down just a bit, and like, all right, I feel nothing now. I'm good. So I'm just jogging along. I'm all right. Let's get that distance out a little bit longer. And so I decided to peel all around towards the freeway and towards a larger block and just say, okay, I'm going to commit to 20 minutes just to see how I feel. And boom, came all the way around. I'm feeling good. Now I feel a little bit of soreness in there when I'm kneading it, but I don't feel soreness at all just sitting here. So that's a really good gauge for me, is if you're just chilling out and you don't feel any soreness, you get up and you start walking, nothing going, you do the knead the muscle thing, like, oh yeah, I feel a little bit there, but not bad. All right, let's take it out and easy. So that is really the trick, is when you got one of those, man, I'm like hobbling along, Just know that you're down for a week, and that's okay. That's just part of being fit in your 40s. Sometimes you're going to get whacked. So that's a technique I use to gauge where I am, what I need to do to get back in business. So far, so good. But tomorrow I thought, you know what? I'll just go run. Like, no. Walk around the block, get the muscles warmed up and get it going. Then go out for the run to ease back in, because the last thing I want to do is become re-injured, and you don't want to do that, because then it gets worse and worse and worse. Hopefully these little tips have been helpful to gauge when you get injured, to recover being fit in your 40s. My name is Aaron Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional traveler. Please like, comment, and subscribe on my video. Just hit that subscribe button. That helps me bring this information to you. Also, please support me on Venmo, PayPal, and Patreon. Thank you very much for watching.